Welcome back to Newsday. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Now, the Nigerian Navy says it is not against private security firms engaged by the government to secure oil pipelines, but insists that such firms must be professional in their approach. In a statement on Thursday by the Navy Director of Information, that's Rear Admiral Adedotun Ayovan, the Navy acknowledged that engagement of private security firms in the security of oil installations was not new. The statement affirmed that it had been working harmoniously with all maritime stakeholders in the country and beyond to guard against oil theft. Now, the Navy's comment followed an allegation by a group Ohanese think tank that naval personnel had been hampering the smooth operations of the private security agencies on the waterways. Will Arise news analyst Dayo Shoboale joins us now to discuss this uneasy relationship between the Nigerian Navy and the firms protecting oil pipelines and how to ensure cooperation between the two groups. Good afternoon. Great to have you on the program as always.
Pleasure, as usual. Right.
Straight to the issues. At the foundation of this, Mr. Shobowale, what do you think is causing this disharmony between people who should be working so effectively together?
It is a form of rivalry. Rivalry based on suspicion, mistrust, and intolerance. You see, the private farms were brought in because the oil theft was siphoning away our revenue. And of course, the Navy were in charge before. And as military people, as professionals, they felt it was their job. But when the consultants were brought in, because these people are consultants, really, and given portions of area to monitor on oil theft, bunkering, pipeline vandalization, and outright thievery. When they were brought in, you see, the government, if you remember, wanted to use their knowledge of the area. You get me? These were people who were militants before. See, the Yorubas have a saying that we use a person who is a thief to catch a thief. You get me? That the Navy resents. It won't be said in black and white. But as military men, you can expect the usual military arrogance when you are told to work with a non-professional to execute your own duty. So that rivalry is there. But what is needed is synergy. And it is government who should see to that. I think in November or so, the House set up a committee to monitor this, the depletion of revenue in terms of oil theft. And they discovered a lot. And that, you see, if we can be able to get a quota of what has been stolen, then our economy will be very much better off. I call on the Speaker of the House, who set up that committee, to have a look at what the two sides are saying. I call on the Minister of the Blue, Marine and Blue Economy, because these things are on waterways, to have a look at it. And you see, there should be synergy. They should cooperate. And you know, both of them are under arms. It is a delicate situation. It is like when on the political terrain, when you have warlords facing the army. I'm not, or these bandits in the security area having arms, even almost better arms than even the military. You can see what is going on in terms of insecurity. It is an expansion of that into the oil theft area. Government should find a way to convince Navy that what these people are doing is complementary. Because if they don't do it, they will shoot each other. You heard what those people said, that at times areas that have been cleared for them to work in, the Navy will come in and chase them away from the place. It is a matter of creating complementarity and making it work. The end goal should be synergy, because they are working for the same purposes. The rivalry is good in one way, in that it shows both sides are willing to work to achieve the objective. But they should not be at each other's throat in the process. That's what I see for now.
Wonderful, Mr. Shibale. Do you sense compromise on either part, whether it's the Navy or these pointing the accusing fingers at them? Because there's reports from the NNPC that between December 23rd and 29th, 112 incidents of crude oil theft were recorded in the Niger Delta. So it's starting to look like, I mean, from what analysts are saying, that someone is pretending not to see what's going on.
If you want me to put the cards on the table,
yes,
I
please.
put it on the table. The private people accuse the Navy of corruption.
Yeah.
And then the Navy responded by saying they are raising false alarm because they have a list of people they want to expose who have been doing illegal things in spite of the contract they signed with the government. Those are blames, you know. Those are blames. They are mutual blames based on acrimony and mistrust, like I said. But the important thing is for them to lessen the bunkering, if not eliminate it, lessen the theft, if not eliminate it, and prevent people from vandalizing our pipelines. So that, I mean, the pipelines are the lifeline of the oil flow. And if the oil don't flow from the wells to the depots, then we are done for. Aside from the issue of fuel subsidy, if you minimize waste, well, I think that's the purpose of this particular government. In spite of the fact that it's taking loans and all that, it is trying to raise revenue and minimize waste and limit costs. This is one avenue. But then, these are men under arms. They are men under arms. They should not be made to confront each other. There should be synergy. Like I said before, the speaker set up a committee. It's about 2-3 months now. What's the report of that committee? In the light of revelations from the private security people and from the Navy, they can summon the meeting and sort out things. But essentially, it must be drummed into both the Army and Navy that are supposed to work together and not shoot at each other.
And speaking about working together, you find when you read these reports that within those who are awarded the oil surveillance, pipeline surveillance contracts themselves, we've already indicated that they're largely ex-militants, that you'll find there are other groups of ex-militants who are also fighting to sabotage those who have contracts as well.
But they want to come in.
They want a piece of the pie as well. Yeah. Is there really any way that all of these people can be brought together to work with one unified modus operandi? Because it seems some are still working with the laws governed by, their experience from being ex-militants. While, of course, we know that the Army, the Navy...
You have to be realistic. Their background is their background. What you are suspecting is what the Navy too is suspecting. It's like, you see, you have a car. You take your car to an engineer. When you have a mechanic who does not have PhD or BSc, can easily fix it. Though the engineer will resent the mechanic, and the mechanic will be laughing at the engineer at his back. Say, what does he know? I can fix this thing. That is what is happening. And then, don't forget, there are these former militants. They have legitimacy. They did not appoint themselves. The government that appointed them must have seen some skills relevant to what it appointed them for. What I'm afraid is that they should not shoot at each other. Because like I said, there are men under arms, there is mutual deterrence. You have this, I have that. Like yesterday when you said people should not carry arms and people are being killed. This is different. This is mutual deterrence. And they have legitimacy, government gave them the job. The Navy is affronted, but the Navy must accommodate them. And both sides must listen to each other's allegation or let a neutral person investigate them. But essentially, they must cooperate.
Of course, Mr. Shibale, the point that you've raised about the need for synergy being drummed in is very important. But
and what's important is, this Ministry of Marine, but nobody is mentioning that. It's a new ministry. It's a new ministry, and the Navy operates in its territory. The security agencies operate in the state territory. So they have to map out that mode of operation was a new ministry. That's to have an input into this. Yes.
Well, in the event that there is truth to the allegations that there is compromise on...
How do you say it? Corruption. How do you say compromise?
Okay. Corruption.
You are suspicious yourself. Say it now.
I've said it, Joe. Thank you for the courage. So, how does the cause continue to be fought, and while identifying and getting those that are corrupt out of the system?
You see, the system is on the ground. Do you get me now? It is as it is. That's pragmatism, and you can't fly in somebody from a different place to come out. You see, like I said before, the former militants who are security contractors, they know the terrain. In some instances, they know the terrain more than the Navy. So it depends on the type of personnel the Navy has on the ground. You know the federal character of Nigeria. They may send people there who don't speak the language of the place, whereas the militants will speak the language of the place. You know the federal character, maybe they send people from the north. These are the sort of things that cause problems. So they will not even be able to communicate or even know their way. That is where the catchment area factor favors the former militants. That is why I said it's a dangerous situation, but it's a situation where government should monitor and see that they work together to achieve their objective. The private security posted that if allowed to do what they were allowed to do, we'll have over 2 million barrels a day and go far above the OPEC quota. Yeah. Can't dismiss such claims.
It can't be. It definitely can't be dismissed. But we'd like to thank you for your insight as always. Arise News analyst Mr. Daishiwale. Thank you for joining us on Newsday. Thank you.
Sorry.
Welcome back to Newsday. Still with us to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world. Arise News analyst Mr. Dayo Shibwale and Arise News anchor by Mutiniri Ekbayong. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
We're really going to greet each other again.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Yes. All protocols observed. Let's get straight into it. Yeah. Let's kick off with...
You're an MC now.
I'm an MC now, yes. Right, let's kick off with this day newspaper as is tradition here. And of course, the biggest story, and this is on the front pages of most of the newspapers today, Efcc investigates scores of top companies over FX allocations in 10 years. Former Minister Sadia Umar Farouk writes agency over failure to honor invitation. Of course, we know she was supposed to have been interviewed a couple of days ago, but she cited poor health. Suspended NSIPA boss Halima Shehu reports second day for further interrogation. Now, of course, some of the newspapers were leading with, Dangote's name, the Dangote Group, of course, as we know that they were also they also received a visit from EFCC. But very important for us to clarify the fact that no company is being accused of any infraction. This is part of an ongoing investigation and tied to the ongoing case of former CBN governor, that's Emefiele. So, a very busy day for EFCC yesterday.
Every EFCC is learning a thing or two on the media trial. It has already said it now, that nobody has been found to have made any infringement. That is how it should be. Say maybe you are investigating somebody, but later we'll make our investigations known. Different from just putting huge sums. As if the person has built a central bank in his house.
And stigmatizing companies and people.
It's the worst stigma.
So, good to see
but
this.
When the cases are cleared in court, they don't get that much possible.
No, they don't. They're inside the newspaper, not on the front page.
That's it. That's it.
All right, now, above that, and also supported by the lead image, to consolidate himself in power, this is still on this day newspaper, To consolidate himself in power, Fubara reaches out to allies in unlikely quarters. Visits Dirian country home Mbata to ex-speaker withdraws suit against Amawele-led assembly. Governor Fubara is now looking to his counterparts from PDP from around the country. I have no friends, as they say, no permanent friends, only permanent interests.
That's international relations.
That's right.
Tell you. But this is not international. You see, I said it the other time, that the conundrum in this case is the defection. Those people who have defected, what is going to be their fate? What you see now, this minority speaker for governor has withdrawn his own. So, obviously, those are the authentic house now, the defectors. So you can go and police them there. Now,
in the house.
Based on what they signed, I told you this thing will be unfolding one by one. They know what they signed. So that is it. Even the case in court has been stopped by the former speaker. So they want peace in their territory, in spite of all the wishes of some other people.
Who are the other people? Who are the other people?
Well, in this case, I suppose we can say the president had the final say. Let's quickly move over to Vanguard newspaper with this pretty concerning story on the front page of the Vanguard. Now, this is a report where the Vanguard writes, viral video, uproar over imposters exposed in army recruitment exercise. MBF Pandef Afenifere kick prof solution. It's a wider agenda to emasculate the North. That's from the Northern Elders Forum. Recruitment exercise Oshodi Isolo LG boss must be probed. That's General Olanrewaju. In a nutshell, what was revealed in a viral video was a number of young people who were said to be of the origin of the northern part of the nation, but had attained fake certificates, indigent certificates stating that they're from Lagos State. So it was the revelation has angered many. However, they've all also been very careful to say that they're still verifying the authenticity of this video and what was seen in this video. However, in the video, some recruits who said they hailed from Kaduna State and could not speak the Yoruba language presented certificates showing that they were from Kosofe, and Oshodi Solo LGAs, among others, which they sought recruitment into the army. Of course, they were trying to get in on the Lagos State quota for army recruitment. That's the biggest story on the front page of the Vanguard.
You want my take on that?
I certainly do.
That's misinformation. You get me? There have been instances where you have pictures like this or videos like this. You discover that maybe it was 20 years ago or 30 years ago. But they know their motive. That is what is called perception hacking. Get me? People who want to mislead the public to serve their own purposes. Let the appropriate authorities authenticate that film. You will see what will happen. They have already read political motive into it.
Yeah.
Either that the North is having more people in the army than the South, or that indigenous of Lagos State are being supplanted by Northerners posting as Lagos State. So that's social media, misinformation. It is dangerous. I don't think the Vanguard should have carried this sort of story on this front page. Yes, they should know better.
Especially because within the report, they are each of these people are saying that they're not yet sure if it's a true.
The way I was trained in journalism, you verify your news before you publish.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, ongoing investigation.
I'm sorry, on that. You know, BBC, as BBC verify on this sort of thing. If they suspect it is fake news, they go back to it and come back. Like this sort of thing now. BBC, if they get hold of it, they will. It can take time. It can take them 2-3 weeks. They will come back and say it's fake or if it is genuine. But invariably, it is never genuine. Because they will trace those pictures and all the inputs. You know, advertising before this IT, there's something called montage. It makes so many pictures to give so many. They can do it better now with artificial intelligence and all this technology.
There's so many ways here to check. I think it's called the meta information of to see the real, the actual.
Authenticated.
Yeah, exactly.
Before it generates political animosity.
Exactly.
And tension.
All right. So very quickly to the Nation newspaper. The Nation, of course, is leading with the EFCC probe, as most of the papers today are. However, I want to take a story that is all about the governor of Plateau State, who's 2024 started on a very active note, and it's also the same story is also echoed in the Punch newspaper as well, and the New Telegraph. Also echoing similar stories concerning Governor Muftwang. Is it on the past? Yeah, on the Punch. Anyway, so long story short,
the court did not.
Today is D-Day for the Supreme Court. That's right. So he's saying, uphold my mandate, Plateau governor urges Supreme Court. And we will find out from the courts today what the outcome of his appeal is. He is saying that of 8 issues distilled before the Court of Appeal, only 1 was determined and others were untouched.
So what is pathetic about the case is what transpired in Plateau State, the tragedy.
Absolutely.
So how can the man concentrate on that when he is not even seated well in the State House? So that's part of the problem we have. I sympathize with him, but when they say when elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. It's people getting killed, even though it's not certain of his tenure in court because of the case. That's politics.
Yeah. That is politics. And of course, the Business Day also reporting on, for their take on it, is that 4 Supreme Court election judgments to watch in 2024, that being Kano, Plateau, Nasarawa, and Zamfara. So we're still looking at the fallout. It's a new year, but we're still looking at a fallout of a 2023 election. Mr. Shobwale, are you satisfied with the speed at which the wheels of justice are grinding?
Well, they say the wheels of justice may grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine. If, at the end of the day, we should not be monitoring court cases. Let them take their course. You see the tragic coincidence now of the Plateau tragedy and the man has won his case in court. Nobody thought that would come together like that. So don't let the judiciary run at their own pace. It's better they are slow, but they grind fine.
10 seconds,
Because, so that justice is served. Justice is served. But justice is blind, doesn't not mind who sucks is God. That is real justice. Let that be served.
All right. On that note, Mr. Shobwale, thank you so much for
no foreign story.
Unfortunately, our time is out. So we spent a lot of time on the local stories, but rest assured on Monday we will make sure you have a foreign story. Thank you so much, Mr. Dayo Shobwale, for your time as always.